Hi everybody.
Hi.
This is Roxie.
This is Paul.
And Jason. And we're happy to be back for day 25 as we read Proverbs 25.
Yeah.
If you see me turning to the right, I'm looking at Jason, making sure he's A-okay. But we gotta do this. So I'll start with verse 1. These also are Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. As the heavens for height, and the earth for depth, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from silver, and it will go to the silversmith for jewelry. Take away the wicked man from before the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not exalt yourself in the presence of the king, and do not stand in the place of the great. For it is better that he said to you, "Come up here," than that you should be put lower in the presence of the prince whom your eyes have seen. Do not go hastily to court, for what will you do in the end when your neighbor has put you to shame? Debate your case with your neighbor, and do not disclose the secret to another, lest he who hears it expose your shame and your reputation be ruined. That has caused me to think of something. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. Like an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold is a wise rebuker to an obedient ear. Like the cold of snow in the time of harvest is a faithful messenger to those who send him, for he refreshes the soul of his masters. Verse 14. Whoever falsely boasts of giving is like clouds and wind without rain, making pledges. By long forbearance a ruler is persuaded, and a gentle tongue breaks a bone. Have you found honey? Eat only as much as you need, lest you be filled with it and vomit. Wow. Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house, lest he become weary of you and hate you. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a club, a sword, and a sharp arrow. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth and a foot out of joint. Like one who takes away a garment in cold weather, and like vinegar, cold weather like tonight, and like vinegar on soda, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For so you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue an angry countenance. It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a contentious woman. As cold water to a weary soul, so is good news from a far country. A righteous man who falters before the wicked is like a murky spring and a polluted well. It is not good to eat much honey, so to seek one's own glory is not glory. Whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. It's Proverbs 25.
Wow. Excuse you, young man. So what has stood out for me, there've been a couple of them, and I kept saying, I think that should be the one. I think that's the one. Let me just go with chapter 8, verse 8. Do not go hastily to court, for what will you do in the end when your neighbor has put you to shame? Debate your case with your neighbor, and do not disclose the secret to another, lest he who hears it expose your shame and your reputation be ruined. This is from verse 8 to 10. So in certain cases, the warning that I'm getting here is that you might think that you're right in a particular situation.
By the time we go to court.
By the time you're like, you know what, let's settle this. In fact, I've been cheated, or so and so has done me wrong. But then when you get to court, and this reminds me of the many movies we've watched, I think the The documentary that comes to mind is the one of this American superstar, sportsman. What's his name? The famous sportsman in the US. No.
What sport?
Baseball, I think it was baseball. Anyway, forget the case.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. But anyway, in this series, what, according to public opinion, this man was guilty.
Public opinion.
According to public opinion. So the prosecution thought that they had an easy case.
Yeah, we'll win it.
We'll definitely win it. This is going to be easy. It's going to be the easiest case ever. Only to find down the road that this is a case that took months and months because they underestimated the opposition, first of all.
Yes.
But also, they also ended up being put to shame. They ended up being put to shame. Because, well, in their opinion, they thought they were right. This is going to be easy. Yeah, and for me, that's a warning for me that don't always assume that you have all the corners covered. Even when you feel that you're rightfully right about the situation, it's always better to settle a case in closed doors, behind closed doors.
Yeah, you and the person.
You and the person. Settle the matter. Because now, once you take it to court, it's going to be public. It's going to be a public record.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So, and even if the case, ends in your favor, the certain details in there about your life are going to be exposed.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That may bring you to shame that you didn't intend to be known, even if you've won the case.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I know there's someone who's going to watch this who has been in such a situation.
Yeah.
Not guessing, but I just talked to someone recently who was thinking of taking that route, of taking someone to court because they were not paying them for work that had been done. And so I think that they're going to reconsider and think, okay, how else can I solve this amicably with this person?
Yeah.
So that's a good one. I like the last one. Of course, I've liked most of them. But that one, let me see. Whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. Because the walls were used for defense. It reminds me of Jericho and all the, olden days. Yeah. Babylon's walls. That if you cannot rule your own spirit, if you do not have self-control, there is no defense. Like you're exposed to the enemy, you're out there in the open, your enemy is just going to come and attack you and take what do they call it? Take advantage of you and rob you and steal from you, and you just have no defense. And it reminds me of Pastor Danny Silk in his book Keep Your Love On, when he says that the person you can control, like on your best day, the only person you can control is yourself. Yeah. Now imagine not being able to control yourself. Yeah. And it shows in various things. It shows in setting for yourself, I'm going to be doing this workout. Yeah. And you're like, today I don't feel like it. It shows in your decisions when you're eating, when you're on a diet, and like are you following through. It shows when you have to study for an exam and you instead, I don't know, watch a series. I mean, a gazillion things. Self-control. If you don't have control over your own spirit, and it shows in all those things you've read really, that show the foolish man and the lazy man and the angry man. Yeah. It's all a case of not being able to rule over your own spirit. Like you need to be able to tell yourself, Roxanna, do not go there. Roxanna, do not say that. Roxanna, because every time that you fail to do that, to rule your own spirit, your walls are broken down and the enemy has an entry point. Yeah.
Wow. I'd never really understood it the way you've explained it. And I guess today I've understood it. Yeah. Leaving yourself open to attack.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. Magnific. Please share with us what stood out for you as well. As always.
Yes.
And please remember also to subscribe and hit that bell button.
Yes.
So that you get, updates every time we post something.
Yeah, sure. And next time you're coming, do come with a friend. Share this link, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram, share it on your Twitter, share it on your WhatsApp. Share it so that we can have more people joining in, more people sharing what they're getting from these scriptures. I mean, chapter 25 has had how many verses were those? 28, and we've shared just, I think, 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we want to hear from you guys about what else you've picked from this.
Yeah.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
See you.